Alrighty, I found this on the X. Lee Kuan Yew now becoming popular on some parts of the Black Twitter. African users like him because of his honesty about why some post-colonial states like Singapore succeeded while others in Africa failed. I think I'll just ignore this Uncle Ruckus thing down at the bottom there. So with that being said, I'll pop in the video and we'll take it from there.
Why have all these countries gone down? They have taken power over from the British, the Dutch, the French, the Belgians, and look at the Congo. Look at Nigeria. 45 million people. They don't enjoy our standard of living. Vast natural resources.
So my understanding of Singapore, it was initially built by the British Empire as a port, basically. And apparently Singapore has very little in the way of natural resources. They have like water distillation, biodiversity, and a little bit of offshore petroleum. That's about it.
Look at Nigeria. 45 million people. They don't enjoy our standard of living. Vast natural resources. About 20 persons per square mile. Why? I've asked myself this often. Why? Because I must know the reason, otherwise I cannot fulfill my simple elementary function as a minister of the Singapore government. And I tell you there are many reasons. First, the will to be a nation. If a group of human beings do not want to together constitute a nation, nothing can make them other than superior force.
Exactly. Do they have a will to be a nation? No. For the most part, their politicians are corrupt to the core. They only care about themselves. And yes, I know you could say the same thing about Western politicians. And hey, wouldn't you know, the West is rotting from the inside out. Funny that.
That's what the Dutch and the British did with their empires, and the French. Whether you like the other chap or not, I say that you together constitute my colony, and you are all British subjects or French citizens or Dutch protected persons and so on. Now, each one of them have taken over. And a heterogeneous lot have...
Wow, I get to add a new word. Heterogeneous. Differing in kind, having unlike qualities, possessed of different characteristics, dissimilar, opposed to homogeneous.
Taken over. And that variegated group must agree that they want to be a people. From the rest in the region, preserving our tolerant, permissive society, our own way of life, and very high standards. But to do that, you must have the will, the capacity to express your desire in an effective way. In other words, you must have leadership.
So yeah, do they have the will to be a nation? Well, not really. Why work to build a nation when you can just refugee into the West, Europe, and etc.? And yeah, you can say the same thing about some native Europeans. Oh, things are getting too hard in Germany or the UK, they just leave. So what happens to the nation? It continues to fall apart. So yeah, this guy goes on talking about economics and such, but I think I got the basics. As I listened to him explaining Singapore and Nigeria, makes me wonder. Nigeria is so disunified, and yet the people who benefit the most are the people at the top. The politicians, the elite. It sounds very similar to the West and Europe. See, European elites, Western elites, they don't have to worry about all the violence caused by all the invasa because they live in a mansion. They have armed guards. So what do they care? So as the native Europeans dwindle, the elite, they get more power because who's going to stand up against them? No one. All the invasa that are on welfare, why would they bite the hand that feeds them? Well, anywho, I just saw that video on X and I thought it was interesting. Well, take care out there in Clown World.